What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today, man?
Good.
I am the one and only, the magnificent, the great, the wonderful. I'm poetic, y'all. How y'all doing, man?
Yo, wow. Familia, this is your boy, Mr. M2J. Humbly presenting yourself before y'all. This arrogant fool. The
I'm amazing.
magnificent.
Life's too short to not see myself as something great, and I am great. That is for sure. But yeah, we're here to just chill, relax, have some fun. Hope y'all having a great day, man. I'm excited. We found out we hit that 1,000 mark, so we're just chilling, relaxing, having some fun. So let's get ready to talk up sometimes.
Yeah, for real. Anywhere from like politics, what's going on in culture, fashion, all those controversial things there. We're here to keep it out, like we say, sin filtros. No filters, right? No
Bro, look at my
filters.
hat though. I got this. My mother in law got me this when she went to Hawaii because she knows I'm a huge fan, as y'all probably seen my food do videos. But
A
I
tiki
do.
tiki hat.
I love the Shaka San. I know. I used to live in Hawaii. When we left Job Corps, I actually went straight from Job Corps to Hawaii to work on a cruise ship as a chef. And I worked dishwashing first, but chef after, and it was amazing. It was a blast. I met a lot of good people there. But it was fun, yeah. But she got me this, and I love Hawaii. Like next to Puerto Rico, Jamaica, and of course the Caribbean islands in general. Just I love, but besides Caribbean islands, Hawaii is like that's my like second home. Like I can go there. It's weird when I go there. I'm just super happy. Like my attitude changes. Like even if I'm like in a bad mood leaving, the minute I enter Hawaii, it goes from like this is a stressful plane ride. If it was, I travel first class. I deserve to treat myself like a
Wow.
king. But no, Hawaii is just a beautiful place. I love Hawaii. I love the. It's weird because like I got along very easily with the Samoans, not Samoans. Say it right, y'all. But with the Samoans, and surprisingly, I bet you didn't know this. And if you did, well, good for you. But there's actually a lot of. There's actually a town. I think it's in. There's one in Waikiki, not Waikiki, in Oahu, which is the Big Island, or one of the Big Islands, the one that most people go to. The Big Island is actually Hilo and Kona, but in Oahu, there's actually, I believe it's in Oahu. It could be in a different one. There might be two, but there's actually a town that were a lot of Puerto Ricans when they left Puerto Rico when there's a lot of issues going on. They went to Hawaii. And now there's a lot of Puerto Rican Hawaiian people out there. There's actually one girl I follow on Instagram who, God bless her soul, God bless her. She is fine. I mean, like, damn. She's a
I'm telling
mix
your
of
wife.
Puerto Rican
And
and
I'm telling
Hawaiian.
your wife.
Bro, go ahead. I showed her. Bro, she's a mix of Puerto Rican. This is how we know we got
No
good
shame, guys. No
people.
shame.
She's Hawaiian and Puerto Rican. And, bro, God said, you're going to make sure you look Puerto Rican. And cuando tú la ves, loco, te lo estoy diciendo ahora, que se parece, oh my God, como si fuera un ángel. Oh my God, she looks like just gorgeous. But women are gorgeous in general. I'm just saying in general, I can look, I just don't touch. That's how we roll. So, making sure people know this. I'm a very faithful dude. I stick with what I stick with. I got an amazing wife myself, but
The way you talk, bro, it make it really hard for me to believe that.
I am faithful. Let's get it right. I'm very good. I'm very good. No, I love my wife. She's amazing. I'm just saying in terms of my people. My people are amazing.
Yeah, but I know I might be wrong, but I know a lot of Puerto Ricans and I think Cubans and so far and so on. I think they a lot of them went over there for when it came down to like the sugar collection or production or something
Yeah.
like that,
Well, that and
and they
also,
kind of got established
got
over
you
there
feel
as
so
well.
right. My bad, y'all. My back was itching and I didn't scratch it before we started, but hey, it's all right. This is raw and unfiltered, so this is what you get. No, yeah,
Mm.
no, there was an issue in Puerto Rico. I forgot when. Let me see. Now you got me wondering. Why did Puerto Ricans move to Hawaii and when? There was an actual issue. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So you're very on point with that. So Puerto Ricans began migrating to Hawaii in 1900 to 1901 to work on the sugar plantations. The migration was prompted by the devastation of Puerto Rico's sugar industry by two hurricanes in 1899. The devastation caused a worldwide shortage of sugar and a huge demand for the product from Hawaii. So a lot of Puerto Ricans went there and worked there, and they ended up staying there because it was very similar to home, except there was I want to say a little bit more freedom there versus what we are currently still living in a colonialist island. So it was just easier living there.
Yo, we never gonna leave
Yeah,
that one alone.
so that's just facts. I'm gonna speak of how it is. You feel me? So
For those
we
who don't know, Poetic has this colonial complex because of all
complex.
the
It's fact.
yes. I know it's a
Fact.
fact, but I mean, like I
Oh,
said, I mean,
I'm an activist.
it's
It's called what
there.
it is. I'm an
He's
activist
an
for Puerto Rico.
okay. He's an activist, and he has colonialism complex.
But
I mean, yeah, it is a lot of disparities going in Puerto Rico that needs to be addressed. But Puerto Ricans are flavorful, bro. They live their
facts.
life.
But
They still
but
do
yeah,
what they,
it
you know what I'm
wasn't
saying?
easy for Puerto Ricans in
They're
Hawaii.
fighters. I'm not gonna lie about that. They're fighters. They, regardless of the struggle and whatever that's going on through in that country or colony. I mean, they fight, bro. Look at all these hurricanes, the Maria, all these hurricanes, bro. They still standing. They, 2 feet on the
Yeah.
ground, 10 toes down, like people like to say nowadays. You know what I'm saying? That
You know what I'm saying?
they still push forward. So props to the Puerto
Oh
Rican
yeah.
people.
Appreciate that. No, but that's yeah. Hawaii's my second home because of that. It's an amazing island. I love the Hawaiian people, Polynesian people in general. I have so many friends who I consider actual friends who they've like we had some crazy times on the cruise ship, and they had my back. And so I got family in Hawaii. So Hawaii next to the Caribbean in general, because Dominican, Cubans were like this.
Probably some
Back then, like
Hawaiian Puerto Rican
we
babies over
fight.
there that you
Dominicans
don't
and
know.
Puerto Ricans fight, but Hawaii, but in the end, we're all related. But yeah, Hawaii is just a beautiful island. I love Hawaii. But yeah, that's my thing. So yeah. But anyways,
So since before you was married, you was a straight sea dog because you used to work on the cruise line. Do,
bro,
do you
the
remember?
so I went from Jalpo to the cruise ship. Um,
Yeah. They know. If they watch the first episode, they
yeah.
know.
So
They know. They
Hawaii
know.
working on a cruise ship is like going to
He was a
Vegas,
sea dog.
but 20 times what Vegas is. Like you were allowed to, how do you say, copulate with other people in your crew because that's all you
Copulate.
had.
Look at this one. Copulated.
Right? Copulate. Um, so you could go ahead and do stuff. So like I went there, and it was it was an experience. Like first of all, when you work on a cruise ship, people don't realize this, but when you work on a cruise ship, most are 4, 5, or 6 months long. The majority is 5 months long, and it's 7 days a week. And I'm like, oh, well, you don't have a day off? No, that's what like they're letting you know. Like you're working Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. There's no day off. Your day off is if all of a sudden there's
You
like
get hours off, if anything.
the only time you get off is when you finish your shift, or if and this happened not often, if there was an over excess of people, of
Mm.
workers on the ship, and they had too many, then whoever was there the longest got to go ahead and have a day off. Didn't happen often, but when it happened, we took advantage of it. So when you're on the ship, if we were at a port, you can go off. You can't drink on the actual ship. You had to actually. I worked for Norwegian Cruise Line. Love Norwegian Cruise Line. Captain Buzz, you're an asshole. He's like, oh, you're never gonna make anything. Yeah, I didn't like him. He didn't
Just
like
so
me
you
because
know.
I would. You know me. I'm very blunt. I stuck up to I'm in a work environment, but I don't let you talk to me with disrespect. You disrespect me, I'm gonna go right back and do the same. You want the respect, you got to earn it. We had a manager, I don't remember his name, but he wasn't the greatest, and he was very disrespectful to people, and I stuck up for people. You know me, I'm very like, no, you're not treating me like this. And my mom always taught me
Yeah.
never let people disrespect you. So I stood up to him. He didn't like it, so he tried reporting me, and they tried to get me off of there. But Captain Buzz is like, you'll never make anything in your life. I don't say, I'm like, yeah, that's what you think. But he was very prone to doing that, even when he shouldn't have been. But from what I heard, he's already gone. He already got laid off or fired or whatever you want to call it. Where he got fired or not, he wasn't a good captain. But either way, past is past. But we went on there, and when you couldn't drink on the ship in terms of alcohol, you could drink
Mhm.
beer and wine. They had a crew bar where you could buy beer for $1 a piece. Every beer $1 a piece, and then wine went from $2 to $2.50 for a glass of wine. of all different kinds. And the cigarettes were always $5, no matter what kind of cigarettes. They didn't have Newports, but they had the majority of brands. They had like Benson and Hedges and stuff. And they had a smoke deck for the crew only, where it was only in the crew area, where it was huge. You can go out there, there's chairs and stuff, and you can just see the water. If you didn't smoke, anyone who knows this, if you're a chef, you're a cook, whatever you are in terms of kitchen, if you don't smoke, you'll end up smoking. Very few times have I met someone who works in the kitchen who
Wait,
doesn't smoke.
now that you
Reason
mention
being is
that,
because that's the only
doesn't
time to take a break.
smoking kind of like dulls your senses when it comes down to tasting the food?
Yes and no, because we it's weird. The chef life, and this is why I love Anthony Bourdain, rest in peace, is because when you're working in the kitchen, your only time that you actually had a break was when you smoked. So people picked it up. And that was when you had your break. So people did that. But the kitchen life, being in the kitchen is a whole different life. And people don't realize it's not easy to be out there. Many kitchen people, and I'm not saying me, but many people pick up, you drink, you smoke, and sometimes you try experimental things that you shouldn't try. But it's one of those where it's just because it's such a stressful day. You're working 14, 16 hours a day. I was literally working 7 days a week, 14 hours a day minimum. So about 120 hours a week easy we were working. And so when you had off, you wanted to be able to explore it. We went all around Hawaii, so I wanted to be able to explore things. So we
That is crazy.
Bro, we had times sweating everything. My boy Jeffrey, I talked about in the last
So
episode.
how often you used to sleep? Because you work 14 hours and you
So
sleep and you sleep 8. Give and take. If you
no,
decide to sleep
no.
8, that's what I'm saying. If you sleep 8 out of the 14, you only got 2 more hours before you hit 24 hours a day.
So this is how it worked. If you worked 16 or 18 hours in one day, then they automatically said they legally and by the rules there, they had to give you the next day off because you worked way too much. So you'd have the next day off. So you would sleep a little bit, and then if we were at the port, then you go out and do your stuff. As long as you make it back on time, you were good. If you didn't make it back on time, you got screwed. And you can get in trouble. And if you weren't on port and we were like on the boat, sailing, then they have like on cruise ships, it's people don't realize the inside of a cruise ship is huge. Like there's an area just for like there's secret doors where only staff knew, where you can go in and get to the back hallways and stuff. So we would go and so this is my schedule. So when I did a night shift once, we did 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. We would meet up at 7 on the main dock, where you would get ready to leave when we reported. And this is usually, we did this in Maui. So we would get out, there's about 30 of us. There was a few Puerto Ricans, a few white people, and a lot of people from Guam and the Philippines. So we would all meet up on the deck, and we would go, because this was our time to go out and try to have fun because they would leave at 4 or 5, give or take, or something tight around that, and start sailing again. So we want to make sure we want to have fun. So what we would do is we meet at 7, go down to the local ABC store, which is the local, kind of like a 7-Eleven, but for over there. We would buy a crap load of alcohol. We would probably buy, honestly, guys, we had maybe 10, 15 people from Guam and stuff. They would each carry on each hand a 30 rack of Coronas, because it's huge. They love Coronas. They would so one person would have 60 Coronas in their hand, and you're talking about 10 of these people. So they would get that much Coronas, and then we would all buy, I always bought 2 bottles of rum. My dude got Irish whiskey because he's from Ireland, or he was Irish, but he got Irish whiskey and stuff like that. And then my other friends would buy all different kinds. And the girls would get coolers and just different drinks, vodka and stuff like that. So we would literally we counted it a few times just out of curiosity. Every week we did this in Maui. We would have about $1,300 to $1,500 worth of alcohol. Then we would have about $200 worth of food, and we bought a miniature grill, and we would leave it on the thing. And you're like, well, that's littering. No, there's a decent amount of homeless people on the one beach. We went to, it was a local beach. There's some homeless people there. So what we would do is we would go there, we would cook up all this food, go surfing, boogie boarding, just swimming, chilling, relaxing. Some people, not saying me, but some people, that's your time to
Allegedly.
get freaky and have fun. So some people would, be on the beach, smashing and stuff, having fun, drinking, and then, making out and doing stuff. So people would be on there, and then we'd just be drinking. We would do that for 5 hours. So we'd be there at 7, walk to the place, be done by 7:30. So we'd be there by 12:30, 1 o'clock. we would be done. But you'd have to make sure if you when you get to the thing, if the security staff could smell the alcohol, or if you were drunk, you were not allowed to get back on. If you still try to get back on, automatically fired. So they wouldn't. They would tell the ship captain, say, "Hey, we can't leave yet." They would let you go to your room, escort you there, and then they would have you pack up all your stuff as quick as you can. You pack up everything, which usually took about 3 hours, give or take. You pack up all your stuff. They would escort you back to the main part where you get off, and then you got to find your own way home. Because when you worked on the ship, they would fly you home and back. If they wanted you and if you did a good job, they would fly you there and back. You didn't have to pay for anything. But if you got fired, you had to find your own way. And most people left from Honolulu. So you'd have to find a way, if you were in Maui or one of the other islands, to get from there to Honolulu and then fly out. Didn't happen often, but some people were stupid. But so we would drink from like 7:30, drink and we would like, because we had it was all chefs and the kitchen staff. So we would all be there, dishwashers, kitchen staff. We'd all be there cooking. I'm talking about pounds of food. We had a big buffet of breakfast. We would just cook, eat and drink, and we'd have radio. And there was a lot of homeless people. There are a few homeless people there. So we would leave. They would be there like, hey, you guys want to come? Feel free to come here with us, drink, eat. Don't worry about it. Not a big deal. Like, are you sure? No, we don't mind. Trust me. And they're like, oh, thanks, brother. Like a lot of Samoans, a lot of Hawaiians, not everyone homeless. Some of them were homeless. Some of them were just people on the beach, but we had so much. And so they would bring the food that they had and we would do it. And then when we were ready to leave, we're like, hey, if you guys want, feel free and drink this. Drink whatever you want. We'll be back here next week. We'll leave the grill here, cook whatever you want. And if there's anything we didn't cook, we had a cooler with ice in there. Here's this. Here's a few bucks. We would give them money if they wanted to keep it cool, if they didn't feel like eating because they ate so much. And so we would just give it to them. So they would have they still had a decent amount of alcohol. Even after we drank, they had a lot of alcohol and food left. So there would be a bunch of homeless people, so they would eat and drink. And they had it for quite a few days. And by the time we got back, they're like, the first time we first did that, they were like, oh, we'll try to save as much as we can. Like, no, don't save it. Drink it, eat it. We're going to do the same thing next week. And then when they realized that we were after like 2-3 times, that's when they started, enjoying the food and didn't care. But we leave the grill there. They would make sure it was clean. They took care of it. It was pristine. That beach was spotless though. Like they made sure that was the one reason they didn't really get in trouble for being there. Is because they made sure it was clean. They're very prideful in Hawaii, which is amazing. But we would do that every week in Maui, bro. We would go to the local beach there where only locals went. We'd eat, drink, and have fun. Eat, drink, have fun. Eat, drink, have fun. And then we'd get back to the cruise ship. And then our shift started at 6 p.m. We had 5 hours of sleep, and we'd have to get off that. And some of us would be like, we would have to we'd have breath mints, we'd have sprays on us, everything to make sure the alcohol didn't smell. Some of us, by the time we went to bed, we were drunk, but we were able to get away with it. Some of us were like, no, I'm gonna stop drinking an hour before. I usually stopped an hour before. I would just chug water nonstop, eat a little bit of food, make sure I was good. And then we got back to the ship, sleep for 5 hours, get back up there, and then boom, back to work every week, bro.
That's crazy. But I mean, if you guys are eating, I don't know why alcohol would have been a problem. I mean,
because bro, we drank.
That's great.
I mean, bro, we spent $1,500. By the time we were done in one day, I think we had, because the people from Guam and the Philippines who were there with us, a few of our really good friends, they would probably drink. We probably had by the time it was done, there was probably 5 cases left. Remember, there was
30 piece cases.
And remember, one person had 2 cases. So if there was 10 people and 2, that was 20 cases of 30 alcohol, right? So 3 times 2, that's what, 6? That's 600 bottles of Corona. By the time we were done, there's probably about 5.
No, y'all were not drinking. Y'all was trying to get cirrhosis,
bro. Drinking. And then I had my rum, so I drink rum every now and then. I have Corona, so we were all drinking. Everybody just put it on the thing with the ice, and everybody would just grab what you want, and then there you go. And that's what but remember, we had about, like I said, probably 30 to 50 people, give or take what kitchens, because sometimes it was the one kitchen, sometimes it was multiple kitchens, but we had about 30 to 50 people. So 30, 50 people drinking, you can go through quite a bit of alcohol. And then we all put the money in together. We all put in for the food. Everybody had no issue spending money. We put it in. There was no, oh, you owe me this. No, we just put it in. There we go. So we'd all eat, drink. And then, of course, guys and girls hooking up, everybody and their mama hooking up. It was wild.
So for those people that like to have fun, over there. Do they guys ever think about like maybe I had a kid there that I never knew about?
It's possible. There was a few people, not me, that they met up like because you could date whoever you want. So the way the rooms are, so you walk into a hallway, right? Let's say you go to a college dorm. You know how
Mm-hmm.
like if you go to like a co-ed dorm where there could be like one room that has the first room could have like four guys in there, the next room could have four women in there, then another room four women, another room three women. Because the way the rooms worked on there was, let's say me and you were going right. We went to the cruise ship and we had a room that has all the rooms have four beds, either four or two beds. If you got the two beds, you got lucky. If you had the four beds, you had to deal with four people. But it went on 5 month rotations, right? So if we went on when they were doing the new rotation, there could be two people leaving, and it could be me and you in the room. So then we would have four people. But if there was only one person in that room, and then all of a sudden me and you show up, that means there was only three, and we had the one bed. This is horrible. The one bed that was empty until the next rotation. Or if you like someone who, or if you like someone,
Story's going.
yeah. Or if you like someone from a different
So
room and
people
you
was
wanted to
allowed to
like,
hook up in the ship.
huh?
People was allowed to hook up in the ship.
Yeah, because they knew that was we were with them 24/7. So that was part of the rules. You were allowed to do whatever as long as there's no drama. You were good. So here's the thing. Let's say you had three. There's three of us. Like let's say me, you, and Gio. Right? There was only three of us in the room. We had the one bed empty. So if we had another friend that we had, like let's say Don, and he was in a different room and he wants to be in the room with us, then we can put the request in, say yeah, we agree, blah blah blah, and then he can move to our room.
Okay.
But let's say we didn't have a fourth person. That fourth bed would be the smash bed. That's where everybody would go on. You do your business, and there you go.
Yo.
But here's the crazy part. Here's the crazy part. Imagine a bunk bed. There were like bunk beds, right? But like, so you had the bottom bed, which was like a job corps bed, which is like a twin bed, and
Yeah.
then there was another part, the other bed, but it was just attached to the wall. So it's just like this big bed attached to the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where you are. So if you had the top one, you'd have to climb up there, and that's your bed. The only thing that was covering from people seeing you was a curtain that went like that went from, let's say this is the foot of the bed, it went like this and then cover like that. So that it was an L-shaped curtain, and that's the only way so you could hear if someone was snoring, you would hear them. You would know.
I
If
don't think
someone
I'll
was
be able to do that, bro. Yo.
yeah, if someone was watching TV or something like that, there you go. So all the rooms were decently big.
Yo.
So four beds in the room, right? You had one shower, which was kind of triangular. So when you walked in, you had to turn and then get in the shower. And the toilet. The toilet, mind you, was, I don't care how bad of a gut you have, that thing's flushing. Now there was no water in it because it was like it flushed into the ocean. But it was one of those things that were like it was like a super super vacuum. Like
Like
I
the
swear,
airplanes that like that suction thing.
yeah.
Okay.
I think even stronger than that. Like you would hear, like it would just like if you drop something mistake,
Te chupa la naga.
yo, bro, and I'm model, yo. So even no matter how bad it was, there you go. And so that was the one thing. Luckily, if you were in the bathroom, you were in the room, and all of a sudden someone needed to use it, and like let's say you were in the bathroom, and I needed to use it badly. Luckily, in like different places, they had the bathrooms where you can go if you really needed it, close enough. But yeah, that was how it is. And then you only all the rooms had one TV, no cable. They would have so let's say one channel 2, right? That would run all day. It would run. Let's say you have the first Harry Potter movie. That one movie would run all day on that channel. The second channel would be like the second Harry Potter, or let's say Blade. So there was like 100 channels, and they would run a thing all day, so that if you worked the morning shift and you couldn't watch that movie, you could watch it at nighttime. But let's say you didn't want to do that, you couldn't get off the ship. Then you can go to the game room or to the main hall, and you can rent like the Xbox and stuff like that. And you can play. You could rent things out, games and all that, or you could just go to the main hall, watch TV there, chill with people. Most people didn't really stay in the room much. Most people were either on the smoke deck or they were in the main room just chilling with people. The breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There was breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a late night dinner. Because if you worked overnight, you didn't really have breakfast. You were done. So then it was all buffet style. So you had this is every day, bro. This is how I learned how to eat with a spoon, rice. With a fork. So you because there's a lot of people from Philippines and Guam. So breakfast would be like 3 different kinds of rice, like white rice, brown rice, and like a Japanese sticky rice. Then it'd be 3 different kinds of eggs, fried, boiled, and something else. Yeah, scrambled. And then there would be 3 different kinds of meat, sausage, some other, links, and then something else. And then there would be, 10 different kinds of cereal, like 6 different kinds of meat, and then it's say, oh well, I'm a vegan. There would be one whole bar that was just for vegans, and mind you, you could eat anything you want. You could eat from any of the bars, and you can go up multiple times. So
Mhm.
you got in shape or you got really fat. Most people got in shape if you work so much. So you can go and eat if you want to eat 10 times there. You can eat 10 times, but you can choose right. There's a vegan one. There was a sandwich one, which like a huge buffet one where you can make any kind of sandwich you wanted. So it was options for everyone. So that's how it was. And then you had lunch was the same thing. No matter what, all breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the late night one always had rice. That was the one consistent thing. So being with so many Guam people from Guam and Philippines, you learn how to eat with a fork and a spoon at the same time, and you eat like that with everything. I got so used to it now I do it. But yeah, that's how it was. But when you're on a cruise ship, like there could be the room next to me, and you couldn't hear anything through the wall unless someone was ridiculously loud, and they'd have to be loud because the walls were not like easy to hear through.
Yeah.
But there could like the room I had with some of my dudes, we had 4 girls next to us in
Mhm.
that one room, and one of them was my boo at the time, but she was in that one, and you could be smashing in a room with someone, her friends would be in there, and they just be listening, chilling, or just watching TV or doing their own thing. It was whatever. Some people had it where okay, if I put a towel on, you gotta do it. But if it's like I don't care if if you're doing your stuff, is whatever. So
Nah.
you would hear people, bro. You would hear people,
I
my dude.
don't know, bro. I think that yeah, that's not a life for me,
There
bro.
were
I
some
don't think
people.
I'll be able to do
Yeah, bro,
anything
it
like
was
that.
nuts. Well, there was times where some guys like some girls would like wouldn't sleep. Like I had a girl back at the time, Cece. She was a black chick, fine, but she would sleep in my room a few nights sometimes. Sorry, mom, but she would sleep in my room a few times, and sometimes sleep in her room, and then sometimes I go to this Hawaiian chick. I go to her room. I was with her. She hurt me. She hurt me, but she was fine. But yeah, I'd be in her room. But people were intermingling. Like, bro, I knew people. I'm not saying me, allegedly. Not saying me. Not saying me.
I
But
plead the
there's people
fifth.
who like, bro, we went to like the parties there for the crew were insane. Like there was times where like some guys would go back with 2 girls, maybe 3. They go into one room, and then next you know, like I saw one of my dudes. He was with 2 shorties in the same room. They were doing their thing. Sometimes you see the opposite. It was just every kind of people possible. I'm not saying I did anything like that. I'm innocent. I'm very innocent. Um, but you meet with people,
People,
so
y'all believe that story that he's innocent.
I'm innocent. But bro, like it was wild,
That is, yo, y'all ever
wild.
heard about freaking VD, bro? That's crazy.
Bro,
I
the
would
funny thing
know.
is that like when you get on there, you get like there's basically all that I know of have like a full on like nurse station, hospital, stuff like that. Like if you got sick, all of a sudden you got a cold, and you're like, oh, I don't feel good, I can't go to work. Then here's what the thing was: if you couldn't go to work, then you were stuck in your room all day. You were not allowed to leave. If it was bad enough that like it was contagious, possibly,
Mhm.
then they would do one or two options. If it was really, really bad, where like it was too contagious, they would have your roommates go to an empty room while you were getting healed. If it wasn't, then your roommates would still be able to be there, but you couldn't leave the room for that day.
Mhm.
There would be like I think like 10 hours. You had to stay in your room. You couldn't leave it. They would bring you food. If it wasn't that bad, then you can go to the kitchen, but you had to go to the cafeteria, get your food, go straight back to the room. You were not safe. If you got caught, you got in trouble. It was
Yeah.
like a markup. But other than that, like yeah, it was a good life. Like you don't pay for anything. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, late night dinner is there. You have a snack thing that's open all the time, so you could buy snacks in
I
between.
mean, that'd be a damn thing if you have to work there and pay for
Yeah,
it.
and then like you got by the time your taxes came, you made bank. But like the gym, they had a state of the art gym. It was free. It was included, so you can go to gym when you weren't working. You can go to the gym if you wanted to and do that. You could, there was everything for the crew. Like there was nothing you couldn't do. Like it was always fun. The club had pool tables in it. It had a full on bar, and like your ID that you walk around with the ship to, like you always have to have that on you 24/7, no matter where you go. And on the back of it, they put like a credit card thing. And what they would
Mhm.
do is you would sign a permission slip kind of thing that says like you can put in, you would make an amount. So I personally would say like $200. So they put $200 because it was like it was an ID, but on the back was like a mini credit card,
Uh-huh.
no interest. It was just like your paycheck. So they would take 200 from your paycheck, put it on that, and then you could use that to buy stuff around the ship on the cruise stuff and stuff like that. So beers were $1. So I had, everyone's buying stuff for each other right now. It's like, yo, let me buy you a beer. Nah, I got no money. I got to wait till next week until the next page is for them to re-up it. I'll buy you the beer, pay me next. And then so people would be buying, it was $1 for beer, bro. $1. Mind you, depending on the ship, you can only drink if you couldn't, they would only let you get on one of the ships. They only let you get 2 beers, and you couldn't get any more than that because the alcohol consumption on a cruise ship is 0.4.
Wow.
So
That's
basically,
crazy.
one maybe 2 beers. The one captain, he was like, "That's ridiculous. I'm not gonna sell my people. You can drink as long as you don't get drunk or get stupid and belligerent. As long as you do that, I won't care if you guys have multiple beers and wine."
So with what you said now, this kind of crazy. I just thought about it since you were talking about it. So you guys were changing ships. So every time you docked, you changed ships, or you was riding on the same ship all the
No,
way
same
through?
ship, same ship. So
Okay,
you
okay,
go.
okay.
So for 5 months, you were on the same exact ship. So when you were off from work, you can get off when we because we. So the cruise ship that I was on was the Pride of Aloha, the Hawaii one. So we did for example, we did Saturday we were in Honolulu, Sunday we were in Kona, Monday we were in like Hilo, Tuesday and Wednesday we were in Maui. That's when we did the drinking for the 2 days because
Mm-hmm.
we needed to recuperate. So we had 2 days. That's when we chose to do that. We were docked on there for 2 days, and we did that for the 2 days, not just one day. My bad. I said one day. It was 2 days. So it was Monday or Tuesday, or Tuesday and Wednesday that we got off 1,500
Yeah.
each time. I would spend myself. I think I spent like $80 on alcohol, and then so we all spend about $100 give or take, 100 to $200. Some people spend more, but yeah, we go out there, get off the ship, go right back onto the same cruise ship, and you were on there for 5 months, 7 days a week working, and then because we went to different islands, you can rotate
Mm-hmm.
to different islands. But sometimes, if depending on what shift you work, if you work daytime, you couldn't get off on the island unless you were docked there overnight. If we weren't docked overnight, you didn't get to go to the island.
Okay.
So you had to learn what you could and couldn't do. So that's when it was like, people would make their time. So I would work day shift when I first got there. I loved it because I got to experience the nightlife in Hawaii
Yeah.
and the nightlife in general. And then sometimes I had the day, and then I switch over to night shift because like I want to experience Hawaii in the daytime. And that's
Yeah.
when we did all that stuff. And that, yeah.
So Hawaii is expensive because I heard a lot of it is expensive.
For when we were there, I guess from a cruise ship point of view, it's not expensive because you didn't have to. Everything was given to you. Your breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. The only thing you paid for is if you left the cruise ship and decided to buy stuff. That's the only time you pay for stuff. If
Okay.
you were on the cruise ship, you didn't pay for anything. I mean, there was no barbers on it, so you had to get your own barber off the cruise ship. Or there's people on there who used to be barbers and they started working there, and they would do like we had one dude. He was in the galley with me, and we did dishes and cooking, and he was also a barber. So on the side, he would sell it. He'd be like, okay, hey, I'm selling this. I'm going ahead. I'll try. It was $20 or $30 at the time. $20 for a haircut. So you would sit down in the cafeteria, and he would either that or in his room. Usually, either that or the smoke deck or the cafeteria. Because smoke deck was actually pretty popular to do it because the wind. It was like decent amount of wind, so it would blow the hair off all the ship. So people would go ahead and do that, and then boom, get the haircuts. But if not, you had to get on the island, which most people went to this, I guess you could say hood, but like a hood. We had to do from Brooklyn, do from the Bronx. We had to do from like all these different places who lived in Honolulu, and he opened a barbershop up there. So all the minorities, all the Puerto Ricans, all the black people, all the people from Guam, we all went there. And then a few of the white boys were smart enough to go with us. The other ones, I hate this place, and I will always hate this place. A few of them ended up going to Supercuts
Super cuts.
and great cuts and to get their haircuts. But we went to the hood.
Yeah.
We got a haircut. We looked fresh, and then it was
They
dangerous
wanted
because
to get them hot towels on their face.
bro, what's crazy? Whenever there's like a holiday or something huge, or they would have like a big party for the crew. If you worked the overnight shift, you were allowed to have 2 hours off your shift, still not paid. But some people got away with getting paid. They would go, and the manager's like, yeah, whatever, just pretend, make sure you come back here in 2 hours. So you would get out of your uniform because all the uniforms, especially for like the kitchen, if you worked like in the galley, like dishwashing stuff, you had like a jumpsuit that you just put all on. It's one piece. And if you were a cook, then you had the 2 pieces, and then depending on what you were working, you would take that off. You would go to your room real quick, switch on into your club clothes. But when we found out like New Year's Eve, huge party at night, right?
Mhm.
Bro, everybody would find during that entire week, people would get off, go to the mall. Bro, I remember New Year's Eve, I think I spent $400. I bought like a $200 watch, and I bought $200. Like I bought like a nice pants and shirt, and then bro, like I was in work. I had my 2 hours off. We went there, but we finished. My crew was so good. We finished so early that we would take a few hours off. The manager was cool with it as long as we had our stuff clean. He's like, yeah,
Okay.
just don't do anything stupid where you're gonna try. He's like, go back and make sure everything's clean and then go back to the party. He was mad chill. So we
Yeah.
did that. We'd be there for 4 hours, and bro, that's one of the nights. Luckily, we got to get off early because we were done so quick. And like, okay, you can get off early. And that's the night that a lot of people copulated. But Vegas, bro. Vegas ain't got shit on it.
Hey, what happens in Norwegian cruise line stays in Norwegian cruise line.
Bro, Norwegian was, bro. There's few people. I know one girl. She was there for 3 years, and then she finally. By the time I left, I think like a year or two after I left, she finally ended up getting pregnant, and she ended up having to leave the cruise ship. They don't want people on there if you're pregnant, so she got pregnant with a dude there, but the dude didn't stay with her. He dipped. He's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. It's bad. That's the other part that's bad because if you end up not being together, you can't really know who because you know the person's first and last name, but that's it. It's not like, oh, where do you live?
I mean, let's be serious. If you copulating with every fucking body over there, that's just no, bro. Who's the baby daddy? You're gonna take everybody to Maury.
Well, no, she knew who the dude was, but because we are on the cruise ship, no one unless the only thing you know about the person
so they were like a established couple, if anything.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, she for a little while until she
they were not just hoeing around.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was dudes trying to get to her, and I was a pimp, so I got her. So that's
allegedly,
how that worked out.
Allegedly.
But yeah, I was with her, and then no, there were some crazy stories. Like, I'm not saying it was me. I'm not going to name names, but there was times where I've seen people copy. People suggested. There's a lot of threesomes and stuff on that boat, bro. There's a lot of threesomes, a lot of 3s, 4s, and 5somes. It was when you're in your 20s, it's a crazy time. And no matter how ugly you were, you found someone just as ugly as you to copulate. You feel me?
I don't know how this got to this, bro. I just wanted to know your experience. This boy talk about some wild stuff,
bro. And that's not even the wildest stuff that's happened, bro. This is like cruise ship. See, I went on and. I went on the cruise ship, not knowing how it was when I first went on my first month. I went on with a girlfriend who back home, who her name we would just say is Pop Tart, and she tried to get slick seeing another dude, and the dude straight up told me he's like who's this? We got on the phone, we got an argument. My bro, he's like my bad. He was a Puerto Rican dude too. He's like, bro, I didn't know. She told me she was single, blah blah. So I left her and jumped on, like they say. When so there's an issue, you gotta when you get in a breakup or something like that, you gotta get on the horse or get under the horse or get under a body. So I got under quite a few, and I was like, you know what, I got under, top, side, left, right. I got my bodies in, and
that's why I call you a sea dog.
You know what I'm saying? So I did what I did, especially because I was pissed at her. So I was like, oh, you want to do this? And then I had the time.
Yeah.
I'm the guy. I was a petty dude. I called in the middle of one. And the shorty was like, yeah, go ahead, let her know what she's missing out. And then she was on the phone. She's like, just so you know, I got your man's D and it's mine now. I was like, yeah. Needless to say, Pop Tart wasn't happy, but I was excited. But yeah, cruise ship is you can't go on being someone who has a girl or something because there's just a lot. You can. There were people who were married couples. There was a few married couples who worked together on there in different departments, but they had the same room, and that was very rare. Or people who have boyfriends and girlfriends back home, but because of how it was, there were some people who lasted. Like there was like different groups. There was like Muslim groups, Christian groups, so they would stay together and try to keep up and make sure they do stuff. But then there's the other groups who they just did what they did, and they did you do what you do. You feel me?
Listen, for those who are watching this. If your significant other is working on a cruise line, leave their ass.
Yeah.
Because they're hoeing around.
There were people who were married and they talked all day, every day, but you got to be strong. Strong. I mean, like, y'all got to be close. Because if not, bro, the chances you get, don't just go on single. Go on single.
That is crazy.
Have that fun. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do.
No, don't do what you do.
Well, yeah, that's the crucial.
Don't do what you do, bro.
You work like crazy. It's basically you work and party, work, party, work, party. You sleep 4 hours a day. There's one day or two that I didn't sleep for a day and a half.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's the life of a cruise ship, bro. Hella fun. Best experience of my life, but crazy experience. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't know what to talk
Crazy
about no more.
times. If you want to travel the world,
Mind blown, bro. Like
yeah.
never again.
If you want to travel the world and you want to experience it and not on your own dime, a cruise ship is a great way to do it. But let it be known you'll be working 7 days a week. Minimum is 8 hours a day. Which if they had overstaff, you were working 8 hours, and it was nice because it was fun. It was no matter what job you had, it was fun as fuck. But if not, if you were working the long shifts, and you can volunteer for more shifts, but if you had that time off, bro, meta la pata.
Metiste más que la pata. No jodas.
Diablo.
Hey.
The stories. And you weren't allowed to copulate or do anything with guests. So if you wanted to do something, if a guest was trying to hit on you, wanted to, yeah, but hey, I get off at such and such a time. And you had to get off the ship, but you couldn't be caught up doing it. You couldn't like let a manager sign here because if they were one of those managers and they reported it, you can get in trouble, automatically fired. But
What?
you know how many people did stuff with guests?
No.
You know people did stuff
Copulating with the guests? Oh,
the
hell
guests,
no.
the guests, bro. I knew. I don't know. Not me.
Yeah,
But
no,
I knew
yeah.
guests.
He don't know.
But I know guests who would get hotel rooms
He
for
don't
the
know.
day just to have fun with a crew member, or they would
Not
just go
him
to
though. Not him though.
no,
Not him.
never. I was a good boy.
Yo.
I was wild in my 20s, bro. I'm
This
talking
boy
about
got like
wild,
20 babies in Hawaii, bro, all spread throughout the
bro,
islands. He never knew about it. You know what
bro,
you remind me of? Quagmire.
bro. Giggity, giggity,
One was a
giggity,
pilot, the
giggity,
other one was a ship guy, bro. Oh
bro.
nah.
Yeah, that's the fun
One
of a
fly
cruise ship, though.
the one fly the skies, the other one cruise the ocean. God dang.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta enjoy life while you got it.
Bro. I guess so.
Oh my gosh.
So what you want to talk about? What you want to talk about since you talk about your experiences in the cruise in the oceans.
Okay, so I have a question for you. This is gonna be an am I the asshole or just am I wrong? We're gonna do one of these. This is called Am I Wrong? Would I be wrong to post my cheating boyfriend's OnlyFans videos in our family group chat? Okay. That alone, that's wrong because ain't no family trying to see that kind of stuff. So that's just bad. But here
Firstly,
we go.
yeah, I was just gonna say that. I'm like,
Yeah.
but the
So
level of
petty.
yeah, in trifles, like you being beyond trifling.
Which is
That
up.
is
So I, 24 female, have been with my 25 male boyfriend for 6 years. 6 years we have built a life together, grown together, done everything together. He recently had to move away for a job, and I felt uneasy about the move. He also happened to make friends with a girl, 20s female. I guess you can see where this is going. I felt uncomfortable with their friendship from the start. We have argued about her. I have made him unfollow her. I've gone through their messages, and the whole time he has gaslit me, called me controlling, painted me as insane and insecure to both our families. It has caused great emotional distress to me and strained my relationship with his mother, which used to be great. Through all the gaslighting, I even went to therapy to understand why I felt so awful about him being friends with this girl. Whether it was unresolved issues around the mood, the physical distance between us, the fact that she sort of looks like another girl who had caused problems for us, etc., I don't know. My boyfriend is also very good looking and very much into training, has a very chiseled body, gets a lot of attention, etc. I also get a lot of attention, but I'm a more private person, go out less, so get it nowhere near as much as him, despite us being comparatively equal look-wise. So after about 2 months of therapy, I get a DM on Instagram. It's a throwaway / alt account, no followers, and it's a screen recording of his girl's OnlyFans. Didn't even know she had an account. It's not under her real name or attached to any of her socials, but I see her face and know it's her. And she's doing content with my boyfriend. His face isn't in it, but I know his body. I know what he looks like, the noises he makes, the way he does stuff. I've been with him for 6 years. There's a video of her giving him head, a video of her taking back shots, a bunch of lewd / nudes of both of them, a bunch of graphic pictures of facials. just so much time. All in all, it's like 7 minutes long screen recording. No message was sent with it, just a recording. I have no idea who it was or why they sent it. The OnlyFans account is only a month old. He moved away the start of January. I don't know how long they've been having sex for or how the fuck they progressed to doing OnlyFans together, but it's insane. 6 years thrown away for a girl he's known for a few months. And to do it in such an egregious way, to be blatant enough to film himself and put it on the fucking internet is disgusting. Painting me out to be insane, making me go to therapy, ruining my reputation with both our families. The whole time he's been effing lying and filming himself cheating on me. He has been spending more money than usual, going away, traveling, partying, going to restaurants with his new friends, buying designer clothes, etc. I was under the impression he was working a lot, but nope. Probably just got some extra cash doing some effing porn with some fucking tramp. I hate him so much. He's a piece of shit. I hate what he did to me and us. I want to just post a screen recording in our joint family group chat. Let them all know I'm not effing crazy. He's just an effing piece of shit. I don't know if this is revenge porn. I mean, it's already on the internet, posted willingly. I don't even know if I care. I want him to suffer. I want him to hurt, to feel humiliated. I effing hate him.
That's a lot of take in. Gee, no pun intended.
Bro,
That is nuts.
yeah. You think she's wrong if she does that? Or if she did do it?
I mean, I say it's wrong, and for the simple reason, I don't want to see that.
Yeah. Facts.
I don't.
Facts.
I don't. I don't want to see all that crap.
I'm not trying to be stupid, but I feel, and this could be me, but I feel she's of the people who are kind of crazy to do kind of stuff like that, and not necessarily always. It's just my opinion, everyone. I feel she's of a caucus nature because that's some
comes from the
caucus.
Mount of Caucasus.
Yeah, that's some caucus stuff to do there.
But I mean,
My mom would fillet me if I did that.
She's rightfully angry and hurt and all this other stuff. But that's something you should take out with him.
Yep.
You know,
Or just get over it and move on.
Unless if she tried to voice that he was cheating on her or whatever, and then everybody was just kind of like disregarding it and just like, yeah, you know, my son never do that, or my brother will never do that, or whatever, and they just kind of like brushing their shoulder over it and not really paying attention to it, then at that point I'm like, all right, since y'all decided to not believe what I gotta say, then here's a proof. At that point, it's still petty, but it's more understandable. But if like they really don't know what's going on and they're really not trying to investigate, and it's more like, listen, I don't know what happened. If he did it, he did it. But that's something you need to talk to him if you want to. But like, don't bring me into that situation. That's your relationship or was your relationship. So that's something you gotta take out with the other person. But if she try to voice it like, hey, you know something, this happened, I found this, that, and the third, whatever. If push come to shove, at that point, what I'll do is I'll give them the link to the stuff. If they want to see it, they'll see it. If they don't want to see it, they won't. But it's there for them to actually see that, you know, I'm not the crazy person talking all this stuff about your brother, your son, and you know whatever it may be. That he's the one doing all this other stuff while I was over here sitting down being loyal, just waiting for his ass to come home or whatever. Now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like if her family and his family didn't believe her and think she's lying, then at that point, yeah, you got to show them proof. Unfortunately, it's horrible.
Yeah,
and no family wants to see that, but it's not her; it's him and some girl. So if they don't want to believe it, you need to either A, move on and say forget about it. If they're giving you grief over it, then that's when I'm like, yeah, you got to post it to show and proof.
But at the same time, that could have flipped back on her because, like she said, she ain't seen no face, but she's been with the guy for 6 years, so she know all his mannerisms and stuff that he does. Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, that's kind of like, I don't know, that's a very risky type of way that you want to go with it, because at the same time, it's like, okay, what you trying to expose? Unless he got something that is I'll say, like really defining, maybe like he has a tattoo of something that the whole family knows about or whatever, not that is kind of unique, not something so generic, or like he has a birthmark that all the family know about it or whatever, not, or the girl says his name while they're going at it doing their what they're
When they're
doing.
copulating.
Yeah, exactly. When they're copulating, like those are more defining that just having some person with no face into a bunch of videos, because at the same time that can be turned back at her. For the simple fact that people are like, oh, they're still gonna deny it until they find irrefutable proof that it was
Yeah,
him. Like, I want to see his face. I want to see something that defines and show me, like, without shadow of a doubt, that it was so and so.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's a thorny way to kind of get into it. I mean,
yeah.
that's a
Agreed.
tightrope. But I mean, just being 100% logical about that, because yeah, I can be like, okay, that's my brother because I know his voice type of thing. But at the same time, you want to act like you know DT and deny everything. Everybody, like, oh my god, it was not me. Blah blah blah. They just try to victimize me. Where's my face? I don't see my face type of thing. Then that kind of like they can flip the pancake on her, kind of
Yeah,
like make her look like she's crazy still.
yeah, agreed. Okay, so I got one more. Be our last. Am I the asshole? So, am I the asshole? AITA for telling my mom and dad that they have to get their noses pierced if they want to see my daughter again. So
Wait,
that's
what?
weird.
Rewind. What? Wait, what?
Am I the asshole for telling my mom and dad that they have to get their noses pierced if they want to see my daughter again?
What kind of jerk move is that? What did they do that they need to get their noses pierced? There has to
Let's
be more
find
to the
out.
story.
So, my husband and I traveled down to Mexico to visit with my family. I'm an American citizen. My mom and dad are not. My mom and dad got my daughter earrings for her birthday. My daughter's ears are not pierced. She's only 1 year old.
Mm-hmm.
She's only 1 year old. I told them that I would save them for her until she was old enough to get her ears pierced. We left my daughter with my parents while he went to meet up with some friends.
Oh
When we went to
no!
pick up my daughter, my mom showed us that we didn't need to wait because they had taken her to get her ears pierced.
Oh,
I got my daughter and dragged my husband out of there before he lost his shit. We went back to our hotel. I am furious. My husband said that my parents are not allowed to spend time alone with my daughter ever again. I went farther. I said that I would not be bringing her or any other kids we might have down here to see my parents. We checked out 3 days early and went home. On the way home, my parents were calling me to see when we were coming over. I ignored all the calls and texts until we were back in Phoenix. We took a couple of days to think things over and cool down. I finally called them. I finally called them. I asked them not to speak until I was done talking. I told them that my husband and I are upset with them for getting our baby's ears pierced without our permission. I told them that when we went back home, I told them that when we went back home and probably wouldn't be visiting for a while. They said that my sister and I both had pierced ears when we were babies and that it did not harm us. I said that we were not going to change our minds. They started getting everyone, including my grandmother, to call me and say I was being ridiculous. I talked with my husband and we came up with a compromise. We agreed that we would resume visits, but not alone time with them if they both got their noses pierced. They said that we were being stupid and that they are not going to do that. I said no problem and hung up. We have started blocking anyone who tries to call us and give us shit for denying my parents their right to see my daughter.
you ain't got no rights. You got no rights. You violated their rights as a parent to begin with. Just because you're a grandparent, that don't give you absolute rule. That's not
Yep.
your kid. Just like how
Mm,
you did with them, they put it right there in plain as day. They pierced their kids when they were younger. That's your kids. You did as you saw fit.
exactly.
That rule does not apply to your grandkids. You cannot just grab and do what you want with your grandkids. That's not your kids.
Yep. Agreed.
If you do not ask permission, bro, yo, that right, that I would have been just like the husband was. I would have been livid. I would have been livid. I don't know if I would have done the whole like pierce your nose. I would have been no. I'd be
Here's the
livid.
thing: they got it pierced. It takes quite a while for it to heal, a decent amount to, but it heals quick. If they took the piercings out immediately, that would heal and go back to normal.
Yeah, but it's the principle of the matter
Well, no, no,
that
I
you
agree. I agree with it. What I'm saying is, I don't think I would say, okay, if you want to see them again, then you need to get yourself pierced. No, I would just take the earrings out and be like, you know what, we'll see you guys, but we're just not gonna see you guys for a while. And then, of course, you guys aren't allowed to be alone with her unless we're there because I can't trust you now. I
yeah, but
100% agree with him, but I don't
let's
think the nose piercing is a thing that should be a thing. I think that's kind of an asshole-ish move. Not
yeah.
necessarily
I
asshole, but
mean, yeah. I
unrealistic.
mean, within. I mean, it like I said,
I mean, I
there.
love my nose being pierced. It's easy.
They're assholes,
But
but assholes with reason, if
yeah,
anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you took away the the joy because I know that everybody when they have kids, you want, especially like you have girls, you know, you want to pierce their ears or whatever. That's a family moment for
yeah.
between you and your kids and all this other stuff or whatever. Not you know, some family really don't give a crap about it. Some people might feel the same way. Some people might not.
Did you
But
pierce your daughter when you had her?
yeah, I pierced my like I took her myself.
I feel like Hispanics,
So
that's a very normal thing to do, though.
yeah, but that's the thing about it. That's not the where the main thing comes from is where you not even have the decency, and because you thought you like, oh, you saw fit to do something to my child that at any given point, if somebody would have done that to you as a child, how your mom would have reacted to that, how your dad
Yeah,
would have reacted to that.
yeah, agreed.
So the level it just transcends. I mean, like to me, it's like the level of disrespect. Just like you cross the boundary, you way went way over that because you not even
Yeah,
had the decency to say, "Hey, you know, hey, so and so, you know, she still don't have her ears pierced. Are you thinking about it? If you're thinking about it, we can meet up, find you at this place so we can go. I know a good place so you can get her piercing. They get, you know, they got good jewelry, hypoallergenic, whatever. Some gold ones if you feel like it, and then we can all enjoy the, you know, the moment of, you know, getting her pierced, you know, ears pierced for the first time, whatever, you know. Make it a family event, but don't take it upon yourself to think that, oh, because I'm the grandparent, I can do as I please. No,
agreed,
you cannot.
agreed.
Because
It's
if
not your
you if
it's
you're
not your
giving
child. It
title,
doesn't come
yeah,
under
and
you.
then that's the thing about it. When they want to sit down and title like my grandparent rights, you ain't got no damn rights. I'm sorry. This is my family, not yours. This is
Agreed.
my family, not
Yeah.
yours.
I don't think she's in the wrong for not wanting to see them for a while. I think the nose piercing part is kind of ridiculous. It's like you said.
I mean, she's just trying to. At that point in time, she's just trying to get that like, okay, now how you feel about this? Because
Yeah,
you did this without my permission. Now I need you to do this. That I want you to have that. I mean, because the parents can do the same thing. I pierce my nose. I see them and I just take them off later on and I just close them.
yeah,
So you guys didn't think that it was a big deal because y'all did it to your kids, aka your older, you know, your grown adult daughter. Then why? You know, I see her point. That's what I said. She's an asshole with a reason,
I agree. I
and
agree. She has an absolute
I'm not
reason.
taking anything from her. She should have. And I mean, pierce your nose is the easiest of them all. You know what I'm saying? She ain't trying to tell you like, oh, go pierce your eyebrow or go put a wire between your or get a gauge or something. You know, pierce your nose. Go ahead, pierce your nose. If you're not willing to do that because of the level of disrespect that you committed, then bye. I
Yeah.
I think
No.
that's fair to a degree.
Yeah. I think you're right. She's an asshole with a reason. I don't think she should be like, well, if you don't do this, you're never going to see them again. Because I don't see that as a Hispanic family. I understand they're mad, but I don't see that lasting. Hispanics are way too close for that. But even then, I do understand where she's coming from. It is an asshole with a reason, but I think it's also one of those where if you want to just prove the point, it's really quite simple. At that young age, they heal up way faster than an adult or a teenager does. So at that point, just take the earrings out, take them out carefully, let
No,
it
she
heal up, so
probably,
there's
but
no
that's
more
the thing
crazy
about it.
things. Yeah,
There's not more context into the story, because just like how you think it like that, I mean, I would feel the same way, and I would have, I would literally, I would take him off myself. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna let him heal, and maybe not. I'll pierce him out later in life, and if or my child feels like she likes another type of piercing, then I give her
Yeah.
the other type of piercing, like whatever. If she want to pierce her ears, then she can pierce her ears later on in life. But I'm not piercing your ears. But yeah, I mean, I think what hurts the most at that, from what you read, is the fact that they took it upon themselves to be like, we're absolute, and because we did it, I don't think she would have a problem.
Yeah.
You are assuming, and when you assume, you make an ass out of you.
Out of you and me.
No, I don't say out of you and me, because she ain't made an asshole about herself. They made the assholes about themselves. So
Yeah.
don't assume stuff, because if I'm creating my family, there's gonna be a whole different set of rules and regulations, because
Yeah.
it's not your parents, it's you and your husband. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Agreed.
So that's a whole different ballgame. You guys have to come to compromise with a lot of other different things, and that was probably one of the things that you guys said. Hey, maybe we pierce her ears when she's 5. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If she's like a lot younger, you don't guys want to do anything with that for whatever reason y'all feel like it. So the fact that they did that, they violated a lot of the rights as being parents,
Yeah.
just cause. And now you want to have a problem because I tell you, okay, since you want to do stuff that I didn't agree to, then do something that you won't agree with. Pierce your nose. So that's what I said. Like that's where I see kind of like the equality to that point.
Yeah. I
If
see
they
what you mean.
want to do it, like, I mean, I'll still see them eventually, like later on in life, if anything. But like, I will let that one carry its weight, because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna bend to your will, and you can say whatever you want. I'll block
Yeah.
you. I mean, just like I'll block you, I'll unblock you or whatever. Now, but I'm gonna establish that my sentiments are valid.
Yeah.
You pierce my child's ear without my consent and my
Yeah.
husband's consent. So just because of that, if you're not willing to go on my whims, then by all means, they got their parents, so there's not really they lacking anything. So
Yeah. Well, also makes it like it also makes it. I see where she's going to also because like if they're willing to do something as simple as piercing, which that still is, don't get me wrong, I agree with
that
them.
could have been something else. Think
It
about it
could
for
be
a second.
something else that they decided, hey, I don't want my kid doing this or this or this. So, oh no, well, we disagree, and they let them do it. It's like they're gonna start running over you and raising your child. It's like, okay, if I'm dead and I'm no longer there, and I leave them in your hands and your will, then fine, it's different. But I'm alive. This is my choice, and I said no. And how much more are you gonna run over in the future if I don't put my foot down
Yeah,
now?
like honestly, our question became this kind of problem because you don't know if you would have asked, they would have like, oh yeah, we were thinking about that stuff. Thank you for asking.
Yeah,
Do you know any good place? It couldn't go on so much different, but just
yeah,
because you took you took the opportunity to act like a self righteous grandparent and say, oh well, I don't think she'll say anything about it, and then just go ahead and do something without permission.
yep, agreed. Yeah, I agree. That's yeah, it's just not right. If it's not your child, doesn't matter if you're related to them or
Yeah,
not.
I mean
It's
that's
let
something
me
that
say
I
so as a
myself
thing.
I practice. You know what I'm saying? Like uh, my child's mom and my mom, they don't see my daughter that often, and not because I don't want to, but I say this: if I live somewhere, it takes the same distance for me to go take you your grandkids so you can see them that it takes you to drive to my place to come and see your grandkid.
Yep,
Life goes both ways. Because
facts.
you're not gonna sit down there and expect me just to go drive your grandkid or grandkids to see you all the time when you don't make the effort to come and see them on a somewhat regular basis. You the one that have to build the relationship as a grandparent. They're gonna love you regardless because you're the grandparent. But I'm not gonna sit here and bend my back and go over backwards because you want things to go one way.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
completely
Like,
agree.
yeah, if you live out of state, I understand that because you live out of state. But if you live in the same state, maybe about 30 minutes, an hour, or whatever now, it takes an hour for you to get to my house and it takes me an hour to go to your house. So if you're not willing to sit down and drive that hour to come see your own grandkids that you love so much,
Yep,
then why do I have to bring them all the time?
it's give and take.
Exactly. It's a give and take.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
that's why I kind of agree with her on a stronger side, because of the simple fact that, like, people take stuff for granted. Yes, you're the grandparents. That, first of all, that don't give you no rights to anything. Um, and second, it only takes 5 seconds to ask a question.
Facts.
Literally, it takes you 5 seconds. Hey, I was thinking about this. I just thought she had no piercings. Do you want to get her pierced? Yes, no. If she says yes, then make a plan. If she says no, leave it alone. That's her decision as a mom. You don't over you as a grandparent don't overrule a parent's choice unless and the only exception to the rule is that you as a parent are causing harm to your child. That is it. Other than that, you have zero right as a grandparent. You have a privilege to deal with your grandkids. That's not a right.
Yep. Agreed. 100% agreed. So that is it for this episode, y'all. Episode number 20. We're going to end it here. Thank y'all for joining, chilling with us, relaxing, having fun. Doing what we do, just vibing with us and just having a good time.
Yep. Yep. Today we learned a lot about this sea dog over here working on the cruise line. This pirate of the new era. Just debauchery. Debauchery.
Oh man, the life.
So people, just make sure that you always keep learning, keep on vibing, bro. Learn to laugh. Don't be so grumpy all the time. Just don't push it to how poetic do it, because it's not gonna end up good. He was just the exception to the rule. Make sure that you always keep looking forward, learn new things. You know what I'm saying? Love hard, and hate less. So this being another episode 20. Man, 20 episodes already. That's
It's
crazy.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
Nuts. But yeah, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn on the notifications, follow us on all platforms, Instagram, same thing, Latinos Unfiltered podcast, Latinos Unfiltered. Twitter, we have a new Twitter account, y'all. It is Latinos Sin Filtro. So make sure you go
Oh, he threw that
and
Spanglish there.
follow us on, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you go ahead and follow us on that one. Subscribe to all our channels. YouTube, of course, subscribe to us here. Instagram. We are also on Spotify as Latinos Unfiltered Podcast. Make sure you follow us. Give us those ratings. 5-star preferred. That'll help us out huge. Share it, love it, like it, shake it. Have fun.
Compartan. Miren los episodios. Compartan. Share it around. Just spread the love. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the show. Spread the love, and just keep on being on filter. So, hasta la próxima, familia. Nos vemos. This is the end.